Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another video. Basically, I was poking around the internet and I've heard a lot about the Hellraiser reboot coming up. And I don't know, I kind of have mixed feelings about remakes in general. Reboots, whatever you call them. This comes out of ScreenRant.com, the Hellraiser movie reboot story details. I'll include the link down the bottom. There's no story details. Spyglass is going to basically do the reboot. They're in charge of the whole deal. They're going to do it, and to me, it's kind of like April 2020. There was something said about it, um, but since then, it's all gone quiet on the home front about the reboot, the remake, whatever you want to call it. So basically, there was basically it's been in development for a few years, and it finally seems to be happening, and it's long overdue for a return to its former glory, according to ScreenRant.com. Uh, the first two Hellraiser films, hands down, probably the best ones out there. I like two personally. I think I mentioned it in a previous video somewhere. I have like 4 YouTube channels. But anyway, the whole thing is the video sequels. Some of them have been great, some of them are not so great, some of them just absolutely wonderful. So, that's the whole thing of that. Um, Pinhead is probably the most recognized figure from that, obviously, because of just the way he is, the way he's portrayed, the way he looks, the pins out of his head, you will suffer, that kind of thing. The low voice and, everything. It's pretty good. But I had originally heard some things about Barker not exactly being too thrilled about it, and he really didn't want to or something like that. Of course, that's all hearsay, obviously. But uh, multiple attempts have been made to return it to theaters in the last decade, but it was officially announced in May of 2019 by Spyglass. The guy over there, David S. Goyer, writer of The Dark Knight and Man of Steel, is producing and writing the story, which is interesting. And of course, April 2020, David Bruckner, who did The Signal and VHS, which was pretty amazing, is set to direct the film, from script written by the duo Ben Collins and Luke Piotrowski, uh, who penned Bruckner's latest movie, The Night House. Now, there's no release date available yet. I don't know how many people are on the edge of their seats for this one. Basically, thanks to the COVID crisis, production might not begin for some time. So basically, as we all know, Revelations was a really bad one, the one before Judgment. Revelations was absolutely horrible. Doug Bradley refused. He said this is absolutely horrible, and he was quite right. And I wish I'd listened rather than sit through the whole thing, because now I remember how long it was. That's how much I could honestly care less about it. But yeah, it's going to be a very interesting little run, I think, and everything else. But yeah, the whole thing is, you know, it's just a really bad situation with the whole Hellraiser thing. In other news, this comes out of horrornews.net. Um, they've reviewed Howling Village from 2019. And To Your Last Death racks up awards and nominations, and it's free on Amazon Prime also, which I've never seen, but I should probably try, but I don't have Prime, so. Anyway, um, they claim there's the next great British horror film, The Power, which is a BAFTA nominated. Corina Faith's The Power, and it's releasing on the 8th of April 2021, which is the anniversary of the day Kurt Cobain was found dead in his Seattle home. However, you believe he died is irrelevant, and I will honestly say that I have my doubts that it was suicide, but that's just me. The film reviews Safer at Home, which comes out in 2021. May have already come out. Actually, it did actually already come out. See, I'm just still waking up. Other things on horrornews.net, they reviewed The Call, which came out in 2020. And basically, uh, a group of small town friends basically reunite, basically, ride the home of a sinister couple after a tragic accident brings them to the couple's door. So I wonder where to find it. I'll probably check my Roku to see if I can get it. If I can get it, then I'll review it. I'll watch it tonight. Put my best face forward. I'm not going to read the review. That's how I roll. And basically, I'll draw my own opinion. So, The Call, I'll do that. Um, and what else happened? Um, the film review for Dementor in 2019. I think I'll do that one as well. So also they have the interviews on the website horrornews.net with Will Wernick, I believe. Yeah, Will Wernick, Safer at Home. Keep saying I'll wear my glasses. I know where they are. I haven't really got them yet on. Of course, composer Christopher Young. Very legendary guy. They did a Zoom interview with this guy. And he's really good. I recognize the name. And he probably is worth checking out on that. There is a first look at the poster as well as the trailers listed on horrornews.net of a movie that is a British thriller. Demon is the title. And it looks pretty nice. The post-rock collective God is an Astronaut. It's an album available today. They have a new album video out today, rather. God is an Astronaut. So I've never heard of these guys really, because I don't really do a lot of things. I'm more of a 90s guy. I like a lot of metal, obviously. I like a lot of, oh, what else do I like? Grunge. I like grunge a lot, and occasionally some stuff like a Earl Sweatshirt. He's a good guy. His lyrics are kind of really weird and messed up, but he's a really talented guy, I think. He's kind of like, yeah, it's worth checking out. The song "Whoa" as well as Earl is pretty good. So you want to get the official video because the videos are kind of bizarre. Um, Worth checking out for sure. The iconic horror film Silent Night, Deadly Night is slated for a 2022 reboot. And to me, I just don't quite know what to think. I saw Silent Night, Deadly Night, actually. And, the demented Santa Claus that kills everybody. I like the movie quite a lot. The dude was just, crazy to the T in this movie. So you made it through Halloween. Now try to survive Christmas is what the poster says. But yeah, it's a really great movie. I have to say I am kind of looking forward to it. depending on what the cast makeup is and who is producing it. And according to horrornews.net, it looks like Onvo Studios and Black Hanger Studios, who did Jeepers Creepers and Reborn. They announced they're doing the reboot. And the original film's producers, Scott Schneid, and Dennis Whitehead of Wonder Wheel Entertainment will join in producing, along with Jake Seal, Terry Bird, and Jamie R. Thompson. And Arnold Studios is actually financing and reproducing the film for worldwide sales rights. This is pretty cool. It was declared the most controversial film of the 80s, and I guess these people who were claiming controversy, I guess they never saw the other stuff that was far, far worse, or else they'd think twice. This is by far probably the least you have to worry about. But it was the 80s. Everybody was different back then. Things were different back then, and of course, shockumentaries were on the DL for quite a while. Which reminds me, I need to check out. So yeah, the whole thing is, I'm quite excited actually to see this reboot. It'd be pretty cool. Might actually go to a theater, and I don't really get out much. There's a movie called Hell. They have a trailer for that. It's looks pretty nice from the art, the still whatever. But yeah, Held. Magnet Releasing acquires Held. So I'd honestly say I'm not too familiar with them, but it's worth checking out. Also, Julio Maria Martino's Country of Hotels feature film premieres on the 12th of March at the Manchester Film Festival. If you're by that way, check it out. Seems pretty cool. Anytime I hear about country hotels, I think of hotels like Clown Motel. The Shining, of course, took place in a hotel. So, the whole thing is. And also, Project Ash is in pre-production. A little word about Project Ash is that this is that's an interesting little artwork on the poster. Let's see here. Let me zoom up on the wording. There we go. Yeah. So this is spearheaded by critically acclaimed nerdy director and music producer. Looks like Iko the Rain Man, or Jack Pereso, owner of Koto Gang Productions. He is accompanied by award-winning cinematographer Giovanni Sierra, and a hefty budget to produce a high-quality short film / proof of concept. The project is being designed as a pitch currently, and will be heavily campaigned and aimed towards Netflix as the beginning of an anthology series that will be centered in the lore of Silent Hill. It's kind of exciting. Actually, Silent Hill anthology on Netflix was pitched as the following: in a world of video games and horror, Silent Hill is a gem, which it is. Very, very good. As a creative horror writer, the idea and concept of what Silent Hill actually is invites room for lots of original self-contained stories and perspectives from different storytellers. As a fan of movies and their interpretation, what I want to do differently is focus on the psychological aspects of the franchise. I want to tell new stories about people with darkness in their hearts, and Silent Hill is the perfect place for me to be able to stretch that muscle. I want to see how far a tormented mind can take an individual and focus more on their pain instead of just flashing cool horror imagery and cameos from Pyramid Head. On screen, I want to create something that will capture the hearts of fans who are interested in high concept horror. So this sounds something like a lot more of what we need, honestly, at this point. Um, I honestly, I think that this is a step in the right direction for things. Um, Also, if you want to check out uh, some good books, there's a section on here of books. The Subcutanean by author Aaron R. Reed. And another thing is, it's a very interesting thing. They have a graphic novel that was reviewed by James C. Haberson and Mackie Wildwood. Let's see here. Came from the video aisle. There's another book. Sounds pretty interesting. Ghostbusters art book has come out from Inside Editions. INSIGHT Editions. And Ghostbusters, the iconic movie of '84, was a huge, huge hit. Left a huge impact on generation after generation. I remember it came out when I was a youngin', very young. That Ninja Turtles was the most popular thing at the time. Uh, Ghostbusters was a movie that combined comedy, horror, and fantasy in a perfect way, uniting us with stellar characters and the cast that played them. So unfortunately, Harold Ramis has passed, and others as well have passed over time. But anyway, I'm looking forward to that, and um, there's a lot of really good things on here. So what I'll do is I will include the link below. And you can check all these out, horrornews.net. And also to kind of just focus for a moment on projects that I am currently working on. As you know, I write under two pen names. Now, one of them was created for the purpose of filmmaking, Salem Gray, obviously. Is a good name for a filmmaker. Quite the interesting thing about it. And I thought Salem Gray, that's a pretty interesting name for a filmmaker. It's kind of mysterious. And you gotta find that's actually a color, which is fine with me. It's kind of cool. But basically, I conceived a movie called Ashes to Insanity. I have a film production company I started. There is a GoFundMe, help Straight Jacket for Two, with my friend Christopher Bowman, who may or may not watch this. I think I'll tell him about the video, see what he says. So shout out to Chris. Thanks, man. He's been with me through thick and thin, and quite the nice guy. He's edited a couple of my books, critiqued the whole thing when I was writing under my real name. But the thing is, I have two more coming out under my real name, In Memoriam, and The Other Side. Currently, I am not publishing to Amazon anymore. No more material to Amazon. I have decided to go with Barnes & Noble as well as Lulu. So, and whoever else will take it. I believe there's more out there that I've checked out, but I don't know. Until I talk to them while I was going to be involved. So Ashes to Insanity, I'm trying to currently work on a GoFundMe. I forgot, I think it's like over 50,000 I need for camera equipment and everything else. Equipment for filming and junk. So, thing is, new system. And of course, I recently discovered a website that has some pretty good video effects on it. Actually, VFX, I believe is the name of it. And they're absolutely amazing, professional video cinematographer effects. Like you could do this, and you could have fire coming out of the hand, stuff swirling around with, all that. And the thing is, I am extremely, extremely hopeful that I can get the hard drive eventually with all the effects, which runs around $10,000. So I will include the link to the GoFundMe, and I will also next video, since I had to make a new Patreon because I forgot all the information on my old one, I will definitely include the link to my new Patreon and the link to the GoFundMe. And I'll try and get done this video actually. So that's pretty much all the news is news for right now. I did a video earlier um, on Leon Gast, a very talented documentarian. Rest in peace. You can see it on my other YouTube channel. He did all kinds of things with Muhammad Ali, B.B. King documentaries. He is a big documentary guy and won awards and everything. Survived by his wife, 85 years old, and I haven't found a cause of death yet. So he did When We Were Young as well, and the Grateful Dead documentary as well. So covered Muhammad Ali and all that stuff. Pretty good guy. We're checking out his work. I have another YouTube video. It's the descriptions in the thing. The links says IMDb, etc. Leon Gast, Gast, first name spelled Leon, obviously. So, well, this is all the news is news for the 8th of March. Time is currently a little bit after 10 o'clock Central Time, p.m., because I couldn't sleep last night. So, anyway, I hope that everyone has a good night and, take care of yourselves.